Hello, this is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. Right, I made a purse yesterday and there's a compartment in it that will hold my phone as well as cash, cards, the whole lot. I did take footage of it, but I took it with my phone and it's all that shape instead of letterbox, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use it. If I can, I'll put it on. If I can't, I'll do another one of these purses because they're brilliant. But I'm going to make a bag to match it. This is my working out. This I'm making this out of the fake leather vinyl, same as I made the purse. And so basically I've worked out what I'm going to need, and I'll go through here. I first of all did a paper pattern. I just took one of my sheets of paper and took it out of the book, folded it in half and just cut around it the sort of size and shape I wanted. It was a little bit bigger than this because I trimmed it down to cut the foam that I'm using. But you could certainly make it this size, whichever size you want to. It is because I knocked off, it's about 11.5 inches wide for the fabric, and then I cut 10.5 inches for the foam, and it's 6 inches for the foam, so that would be 7 inches for the fabric, and then just round the edges off. But I have cut them out. Now, as I'm using all my scraps up of this white, I've had to make the top piece, the bit that goes over the flap, and the back in two pieces, and then I'll stitch them together. So let me show you what I've got out. This is the front, and I have a piece of foam and lightweight interfacing. The foam is 1/2 inch smaller than it, and this interfacing will iron to the foam and iron onto the vinyl. So that's for the front. For the top bit of the flap, I've done separate than the back. So it's basically my pattern again that I've just showed you, the paper pattern. Cut it out, the foam 1/2 inch all round, but the interfacing is the same size, and that's for the outer. Oh, and I've got a piece 2 inch wide by approximately 25-26 inches. We'll trim it down once we get there. 2 strips about 25 inches long again by 1.25 inches, and this is for the lining fabric, lining gusset. That's if everything works out right. For the lining itself, I have the front, same size as the white vinyl, and just a piece of interfacing. I'm not going to put foam in these because I don't think it's necessary. I have 2 pieces which are slightly less, only about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch height lower but that's 2 pieces of fabric and 2 pieces of interfacing. And I have one large piece, which is the flap that comes over and the body, the back. So if you weren't piecemeal like I am, you would do just that out of one piece of fabric for your outer bag. But I'm going to fuse on all the interfacing now. I have now pressed it and realised I actually needed some more of this size for the liner, so it's 4 for that middle zip pocket. Also, we'll move them out of the way. Also, this zip is about 9 inches long. It's a bit shorter than the thing, but it means that there'll be less bulk in the seams, because what I'm going to do is fit it in and then just sew it up to the zip itself. See how that works out. But there's your one with interfacing on. Then guess the middle. You don't have to get it exactly right. I find it easier with clips. But your zip is right side down. And then you want your other piece that has no interfacing on. You can put interfacing on it if you want, but I aren't bothering. And line it up exactly. Clip that end. Clip that end. Take this on off now, and there, and then sew as close to the teeth as you can get, so it's best putting your zipper foot on, and then we'll be able to fold it once it's sewn and top stitch along there. So I sewed the zip in, turned it right side out and top stitched across it. Now I'm having the interfacing part, well, the one that's got the interfacing on has been the outside of the pocket. So the part that hasn't got interfacing, you want to lie it on, line your zip up and make sure your pocket edges are right, and clip, then match your non-interfaced one right side up, zip right side up, and the interfaced one right side down. And clip as I've done before. Sorry about the growling, Mason's found something to growl about. And then when it's done, you'll see that your interfacing sides are on the outside and your zip will be there. So I'll do exactly the same again. Yeah, stitch along there and then turn it right side out and top stitch. So there is our zip when it's actually folded and in the bag. It will come open and you've got there. I mean, you can see through it at the moment because it's not fixed in. That's just to give you an idea of how it is. Now we'll work on the gusset. I think it's called the gusset. Right, put your right sides together. And I'm using still my 1/4 inch foot. Thank you. Sometimes it seems to take a while for the feed dogs on this to grab hold of the material. When you're about 2 inches off the corner, start to slowly turn this top bit, trying to keep my hand out of the way and hold it down. Just do a few stitches at a time. Might not use this footage. Change its sound. I thought it was running out of bobbin thread. Oh, no. I do like the knee lifter on this necky though. Leaves me both hands free. I don't have to keep lifting and then lowering me presser foot. But you see, we've easily got round it. Oops. And there it actually is, all sewn in. Now we don't need this bit, so cut it off. Where are my scissors? There. Simple as. So that's the front of the lining. Now we want to sew this pocket to it. Now because we made it slightly smaller in height, we need to find the middle of the bottom. So just fold it in half, and that's our middle. On this as well, you want to find the middle, or thereabouts, as close as you can get it. But there's your middle as well. So, you know, I want the zip on the left hand side, so we'll put those two middle bits together. Take the pins out, because one, they've done the job, and two, they always stick in me. That's why I use these clips an awful lot now. And we do the same again. We sew this gusset all the way around. If you wanted to make sure you were getting it right, you could start in the middle, work up to one side, and then go back to the middle and work up the other side. I ain't going to bother doing that. I'm just pinning it there to tell me where I need to start sewing. As you can see, it is shorter than the front, but that's what I want, so the pocket's more recessed. So I'm going to now sew this pocket onto this. Well, now I've got it pinned, and in fact before I do that, we need to put some pins, clips, now we've got this other gusset, and that will need to go from the top, so we basically just go round exactly this is going to be, I think, the bulkiest bit. Now take your time doing this, because you've got two straight bits of fabric that you're sewing to a curved bit. But do that all the way around and sew it on. I'll do that now, but you can see there how it's in the middle now. But I'll do that and then show you. After you've gone around, make sure as you're sewing you're keeping this back piece out of the way, and remember, after you've done the first bit pasting, remember to turn it back to normal stitch. There's, because it was a little bit too long, but you can see it's starting to get there. That'll be the front of the bag with your zipper pocket. Now we need to attach this to the back, and we just do exactly the same as we've done before. We'll find the middle of this and then the middle of your back piece. So I'll do that now. It's easier doing it this way than breaking around with it. So there's the middle of that piece. Now it's exactly the same either end, so it doesn't matter which, but we want the middle of the long back piece. So there they are. Line those two up. Line those two up. Oops. Clip. Taking pins out. You can clip all the way around if you want, or not, whichever you want to do. So you're sewing the back bit to this 1¼ inch strip that's going round. And I'll sew that on now. Make sure you keep all of this out of the way of your needle or you'll stitch it in. So I'll do that and show you what it looks like. Now this back's on, you can see how it's coming together. And that pocket, zip pocket, is in the middle but recessed down slightly. And that's what the lining is going to be like. So now we can work on the outside. So I'll see you next week for that. Bye!